We talk about it all the time, man. The top of the card is like a geriatric center right now. It's like dudes getting prostate exams and freaking taking all their bone pills and drinking Ensure.
In a world where two retired vets decided their phone conversations about WWE and storylines would make a good podcast, only one podcast dares to predict the future, where every move, every feud, every moment is overanalyzed. Grab your number 2 pencils. Get ready to step into the squared circle. This is your front row seat to the storylines as you wish they were written. Welcome to the If We Had the Pencil podcast. Here are your hosts, Sean Green and Matt Jackson.
Welcome to the If We Had the Pencil podcast. Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to our New Year's Eve episode, or New Year's episode. I'm your host, Sean Green, and with me, as always, the man, the myth, the legend, wearing the Uranus, Missouri shirt, Matt freaking Jackson. Matt, how the hell are you?
Good. Wouldn't that be like a cool place if you're a wrestler to come from? Hailing from Uranus, Missouri.
What if Goldust was from there, though?
But I digress.
Yeah, I know.
No, man, doing good. Hope everybody out there had a good Christmas and staying safe, especially with all the snow and the weather coming across the country. But
I've seen some stuff coming out of New York, dude. I was like, whoo, I dodged a bullet getting out of there.
yeah. Well, my whole side of my in-laws' side is all up by Fort Drum, and they're going to get buried this week, like 2 feet of snow up in Greater Watertown area. So that was the claim to fame of being at Fort Drum, was that at least once a winter, but usually several, Watertown would be like the coldest city in the country that day, or it'd be the snowiest city in the country that day. So
I know. Owning a snowblower was a must.
yes,
Like, I distinctly remember having a snowblower up there just so I could snowblow an area for the dog to go out and go to the bathroom. Like, it was that high. Otherwise, it was above her head. It was crazy.
oh yeah, 10, 12-foot drifts against the side of the house. Good times. Wouldn't trade it though. That was my favorite duty station in the military, was Fort Drum. I think it's because that's where I met Christy, but I did. It was plus it was like I came from small town, so I was only 5 hours from my home where I grew up, so I was close, and I liked the small town feel. It didn't feel like, after spending 10.5 years at Fort Bragg, like I can never drive far enough away from Fort Bragg to get away from all the military stuff. Like Drum, you could just drive into Clayton and like you forget there's a military base. So
yeah, no, it is very diversified up there. Like, you know, everything's well spread out. Like, my first government housing was like in Governor. Not that anybody listening to this podcast is going to know what any of these places are, and that's cool.
unless
But
you're
yeah,
military, but so you were in housing in Governor, and if anybody military is listening, this will blow their mind. If you lived in off-post housing at Fort Drum, there were shuttles that you would have to catch, and your unit would have to release you, because
if they didn't, they had to take you home.
bingo, like unless it was like a pre-planned deal where someone would take you home. But Governor was like what, 28, 30 miles from base. It was out there.
It was 30 miles. It was
Yeah.
a long drive.
I mean, I lived in Carthage for a while, and some days it was like in the wintertime, it was crazy. You'd have 2 feet in Carthage, and you get to base, and it'd be like a dusting. And then it would just move north, and then you'd be at work for half an hour, and they close posts. Now you're trying to get back home, so you spent all day going to work for a half an hour and coming home. And then you got to snowblow the crap. That's why the
The
Class
North
6
Country
and
got
the
its own weather.
Yeah, that's why the Class 6 would get raided on post. And if once that ran out, all the
Damn
liquor
right.
stores local by would, oh yeah. Bear World. Good old Bear World.
All right. Well, we're not here to talk about all our past like military installations and the feet of snow that you would deal with at Drum. We're here to talk wrestling.
We are.
And we had some good times. We had some bad times. We had some meh times.
Sounds
you
like
know,
a Cool in the
nothing's-
Gang song.
I know. I'm just making stuff up as I go. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. So we had some of this stuff. Matt's already taken stuff out. You know,
No, I bumped my ring light.
Pre-recorded show for SmackDown, but it was a holiday show. All right. I'm going to say something because the IWC has been losing their effing mind. And I got to say that, like, folks, WWE, for as long as I can remember, does corny crap during the holidays. So get over it. Like, that's all I got for you. Like, get over it. Just enjoy the ride. Have fun with it. Like, nothing's too serious. So we kick off the show. Joe Hendry, I like him more and more every day. Like, the fact that he was out there, like, just doing a song, busting the crap out of the Miz.
Oh, yeah.
And, like,
had his little Santa's helpers, had the Easter Bunny.
Yeah, and it was great, too, because I was a little slow on the uptake, I'll admit it, but I texted you before it was revealed. I go,
you did.
Our truth is in the Easter Bunny costume, isn't he? Because that's what our truth will do. Because at Easter, I'm sure he'll come out as Santa Claus. So, like, you know, but it was just a fun segment. It leads to this, like, Miracle on 34th Street fight, and it was just fun. It's campy. It was like your typical holiday WWE stuff, and it got us to see Joe Hendry, and I'm liking the guy. I'm really liking the guy right now.
Yep, me too. And
so,
yeah, it was there's some funny spots. The Christmas tree suplexes were cool. Hendry having the guitar and then Miz pulling out a ukulele was kind of a funny moment. It gave me an instant flashback to Kurt Angle with the itty bitty cowboy hat backstage. So
there was a lot of good stuff in there, and like I just, you know, if you just smile and nod, it's the holidays. It was the day after Christmas. Like, yeah, man, like have at it.
I think a little
after that, I went and watched Lethal Weapon because Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie.
We did. We talked about that about 3-4 weeks ago. But yeah, you know what? I think around the holidays we could all use to laugh a little bit more. So I enjoyed it. It was funny. Like, but I did text you. I'm like, I hope this isn't going to be like how we're going to see Joe Hendry all the time.
I don't mind it. It's different. Well, it's not different. It's been done before, but it's not. If he's going to be like the little campy, like, how do I call it? I don't want to call him a prankster, but like, I want to say that, like, if he's going to be that little, like, you know, just kind of, I'm just going to rib you and good nature guy. Cool.
Yeah.
There's not too many serious people. Look, you need variety, man. And if he's going to hang out with Alpha Academy, I don't care. Have at it, man. More OTs, the better. Like, you know, I'm good with it. Just, I'll say it again. The disclaimer, Matt and I don't watch NXT. We don't watch other promotions. You get main roster stuff from us, and there's a reason why. So when we get call-ups like Joe Hendry, everything I've seen of Joe Hendry around the main roster has been fun.
Yeah, me too.
You know, him
there you go.
coming out
That's the key word.
face-
He's a fun guy. It's going to be.
Yeah, him coming out and facing Randy Orton, that was fun. You know what I mean? And I'm fine with it. Like, let it roll, man. Like, you got to have that little bit of fun injected in, right? Believe it or not, Stone Cold was like that. Mostly when it pertained to Vince, but like, nothing makes me laugh harder, man, than when he cracked Vince in the head with the bedpan. The sound of the bedpan hitting Vince's head was like perfect. And it makes me laugh every time I see it.
Austin was funny with The Rock. They had funny moments. Him with Mick Foley, the Dude Love stuff, especially Stone Cold and Dude Love when they would tag team.
Booker T.
Yeah, it's Booker T in the supermarket.
In the grocery store.
Yeah.
You can't top that.
Even people who don't like wrestling find the Booker T, Steve Austin supermarket fight hilarious.
That supermarket fight was just beautiful. And like,
it was like Three Stooges, but excessive violence. It was hilarious.
But it's so beautiful because they just, you know, when they're talking about the backstory with it and everything else, and like you just hear them go, WWE just said we'll pay for it, and like they were like, have at it, and boy did they ever. And like all the goofiness of like him just getting Booker T in the cart and like God, good times.
Couldn't go in there until 21. It wasn't a classy joint, but it was a classic like New England sports bar. So it's a cool place. But yeah, I love it when they destroy stuff. So yeah, let's break stuff. Like Christmas trees and
More
ornaments were
breakage.
fun. Yeah, more breakage.
So then we get Charlotte Flair and Lash Legend. That was a hoot. It was all right. It
Yeah,
wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't.
it was clunky at times. There was no. It wasn't.
Yeah. No. And I think Lash Legend's going to be a star.
I
Like,
think so.
and
Yeah.
I love that the Alexa Blisses of the world, the Baileys of the world, the Charlotte Flairs of the world are right now putting over talent. We've said it for the last couple of weeks, and I stand by my statement. Folks, you are seeing the injection of the next era. The new era is starting right freaking now. You need to realize that the new era is coming now. Like, whatever the hell they'll end up calling it, if they call it the Cena tapped out like a bitch era, I don't know. Whatever the case may be, like, as soon as all the Cena shenanigans were done, everything flipped script. And if you haven't seen it ramping up, you haven't been paying attention. Because that leads into this next match. Carmelo Hayes and Ilya Dragunov. Bro, this match was awesome.
It was.
I had such a good time with this match. And like, I'm not gonna lie, the spoiler was out there. We all knew that like Carmelo Hayes was gonna go over. But actually seeing it happen in the moment and really watching it, so good.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't seen it, we were on the BC WrestlePod's annual end of year show. My match of the year was the one from a couple weeks ago with Dragunov
Him and
and
Ciampa.
Ciampa. This, I don't know if this surpassed it because that was just so good. But this, if this doesn't equal it, it is just a tiny tick below it. It was fantastic. Oh my gosh, freaking the superplex into the cutter counter off the. I mean, it was just so smooth. Like, like Corey Graves. I think it blew his mind when he saw it because he was like,
Bro, it was like even in the smoothness of it in slow motion, even you were just like,
it went from
brilliant.
suplex, then just kind of reversed and caught him. It was like, oh, it was great. I mean, the fans were really behind it, and then like Gargano attacks Hayes after the match, and I'm like a little confused why Gargano. Like, if anything, it should be Ciampa. Should be upset.
This is all.
But we'll see where they'll go.
This is all the little incestuous stuff that he does, right? Like you get these little pods of people that are all, because Ciampa's involved, so is Johnny Gargano, and then. It's like a shell game, right? Like it's these two this week. You see it with the Judgment Day too.
Well,
it is what it is.
Well, I do hope that they do run back Dragunov and Hayes again.
I honestly hope they don't.
Well,
and I think they've been doing a pretty good job with this.
I wouldn't have Dragunov lose clean. There would be somebody would cause it to happen from outside. I wouldn't have Dragunov because my next question to you is like, where does Dragunov go from here? Like, what? He doesn't have the U.S. title. There's a lot of stuff going on with the world title pitches. So where do you think Dragunov fits in right now?
You just have him start working his way up, right? Like he can fiddle faddle and work his way up into the next tiers and really do what he needs to do. So,
I mean, I think he'll do something with Ciampa too. I think they'll close out their little thing because that never really got concluded. But I'm saying after that, what I don't want him to do is do a rehash of having to go through the same guys that he beat. So he needs to have a
no. But I think taking the title off of him allows him to wrestle people that he hasn't wrestled yet, that you don't necessarily want in the U.S. title picture, right? Now you can get a little more randomness in it because, like, let's be real. When it comes to these titles, you got to have certain people involved, right?
Yeah,
like we kind of talked about it a lot with Gunther, which
it narrows your scope. It does narrow your scope because you can only get to certain people because not everybody's in that title picture. So
correct.
So
you don't want them in that title picture,
right?
Too. So, like, it's kind of like when we talk about Gunther, right? Like when Cena had the IC title, you were like, I really don't want Gunther anywhere near that. He's world title guy now, so like we don't want him to regress. Whereas like other titles, it makes sense for people. Like the women's IC title is a totally different scenario, which is yes, I want my stars because we're building those up. And to be fair, they've done a really good job. But
They have.
Matt, I heard you came across a lot of disdain, if you will, for Carmelo Hayes going over. What did Sammy do that Dragunov hasn't? And the quality of matches went up when Dragunov had
Yeah.
it. So, like, what did Sammy do differently?
I don't
He
know.
didn't. We actually
Bro,
talked about it on this pod.
It's the
It was like,
IWC.
I know.
If there's nothing to bitch about, they'll bitch about there being nothing to bitch about. So they just have to find something to piss and moan and hang their hat on and die on the hill about. So
I get it, man. It's just, but the problem is like, I'll give you a good. If your answer is, well, Sammy's run was better. Sammy barely talked during that run. He basically just, outside of telling Cena that he was going to carry on the tradition, he just was like, all right, cool. Whoever's up next. And like, Sammy didn't do much. And the match quality with Dragunov's been off the charts. Tell me one bad match that Dragunov had during his run. Tell me one.
None.
They're either 4 or 5 star matches. All of them.
Yep. And then you and I agreed when Sammy was doing the open challenge, that was some of Sammy's best work in a long time. Because all Sammy had to do was focus on wrestling. And his matches were excellent. And then Dragunov came in to keep on that legacy. So Carmelo Hayes, and I think this title, they're building it right. You know, you get it, you defend it all the time, and if you lose it in a couple of months, it doesn't hurt you but I have an idea. I have a feeling that maybe they'll let Hayes have a little bit longer run with it.
Hopefully.
At least
they've been heating up Hayes for a while, though, right? No, they've been heating up Hayes for a while.
Yeah.
So, like, this is the part that kills me because my jaw almost hit the floor when you were like, oh, people aren't happy he won. I was like,
they were losing their minds when he wasn't getting pushed. And now, like, he's getting pushed, and now they're like,
they're like, you already had this talent. And they're like, people are like, folks, it's a transition period, right? Like, we're getting all these younger talents up. Where, yes, I know Carmelo Hayes has been around for a minute, but like, he hasn't really been here super long on the main roster. Like, let's calm ourselves down. Austin wasn't Austin right out the gate, right? He was the ringmaster or whatever the hell that was.
Yeah. Yep. He was with Ted DiBiase.
Triple H wasn't Triple H. He was the blue blood, right? You like to bring it up all the time. Kane wasn't Kane. He was like, what?
Isaac Yankem, DDS.
Isaac Yankem. You know what I mean? Like, these people weren't who they are that you look at nostalgically. All these stars, like The Rock. The Rock wasn't The Rock. He was hated. He was Rocky Maivia.
And he wore like the ugliest outfit. He looked like a goof.
He did. But the whole point is that, like, they weren't who they were. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there was a lull. You had to find it, and then you had to build it, right? Like, once Triple H became Triple H, and I mean, even people that were around forever, like Shawn Michaels, right? Shawn Michaels wasn't Shawn Michaels right out the gate. He was there paired with Marty Jannetty in the Rockers, and until he freaking beat the crap out of Jannetty,
it became the Heartbreak Kid.
He became the Heartbreak Kid.
And then he became Mr. WrestleMania, like he constantly evolved. So I want to this is a good lead-in too, because we had somebody comment on, because last week we talked about we're in a transition phase, right? And we talked about, I put a short up, and I don't have the responder's name, but he mentioned something like, well, transitions don't take a full year. Like, do you want them to just vomit everybody out at once? Like, I would rather see a transition.
That's not how it works.
No, it might take, and I even said it might take 12. It might take 24 months, because that might be how long it takes to work some of the older guys that are retiring out and bringing these guys in now. And then they're going to, another 6 months, we're going to have another group come in and down the line. So you just don't want to throw like 20 guys out there and 20 gals, because guess what happened? People are going to get lost in the shuffle.
Nobody cares.
Because you're just vomiting. It's just a big vomit of throwing everybody
It's not even that. It's not even that, though, right? Like, we didn't know it was the Attitude Era until after that era. We didn't know it was ruthless. When Cena said ruthless aggression to Kurt Angle, like, nobody knew that was going to become the ruthless aggression era. No, he was just some punk kid that came up, and he came out. He said ruthless aggression, and he almost got cut. Like later on, like until he started rapping in the back of a bus. But like, you didn't know who these guys are. But the problem is, when I say we're in a transition, you can't think of, all right, they're just bringing all this young talent in. No, you're between eras right now, right? Like, you're between eras. Like, we don't know what this era is going to be, but but you can see it coming. It's on the cusp. The bulk of the younger talent that's coming onto the main roster now, all those established guys that we've all grown up with, like, we talk about it all the time, man. The top of the card is like a geriatric center right now. It's like dudes getting prostate exams and freaking taking all their bone pills and drinking Ensure. It's ridiculous, you know? So, like, let's get past that. Let's start getting the youth in there, but it's not an on-off switch. Like, I never saw half these guys. I don't watch NXT, so you have to make me give a crap about you, and that doesn't happen overnight. But what you do have to recognize is the older guys are all phasing out. AJ Styles is supposed to be gone after this year. Rumor is Brock Lesnar is gone after this year. You know, so all those spots, all these part-timers, for a lot of them, are going to start fading away. So now it's time for the younger generation to work their ways in, you know? And you're going to be stuck with, and pretty soon, as crazy as it's going to sound, like the crusty ass old hats are going to be like the Becky Lynches of the world and the Charlotte Flairs. They're going to be the old ones while all the younger talent is working underneath them. Like, when we talk about this as a transition into a new era, it's fine. It's more recognizing that it's on an ongoing process. We're not in that era. Like I said, John Cena was whatever the hell he was during Ruthless Aggression when he came out and talked to Angle. We didn't get John Cena, you know, that we know now. So, I mean, I get it, man. Everybody's got their own taste, but I also think that comes down to like how much you expose yourself to the product, right? And I think if you're just a junkie, that's cool, and you're going to have your taste, and then you're going to have your likes and wants. But as somebody that intentionally stays focused on main roster, I just got to take it in stride, man. I see Carmelo Hayes, I see a talent. And honestly, like, I did see somebody put that, like, oh, he doesn't really have aura. Bull crap, man.
No,
He
I
feels
think
bigger than crap when he comes out right now.
yeah,
You know,
he connects well with the fans. I mean, the arena went nuts, and I saw the cell phone footage from the crowd. That place was up. Like it was like the last 40 seconds of the match, and then the like the hug from Dragunov afterwards, and that place was just going crazy. Nobody was chanting "This is awesome" or whatever. People were just up out of the seats, yelling and screaming, and like because they were vested in it. Because both guys were likable, but like I was excited to see Hayes get the win because now it's his time, and Dragunov.
well, I
He's
also think
elevated the title.
Hayes's character is a little more entertaining too.
Yes.
So like you're gonna get a little more out of Hayes. Speaking of entertaining characters, Chelsea Green, Alba Fire, Julia, and Kiana James. I'm not gonna beat to death the whole Julia thing right now. Like, whew, you know, this is one of those situations where the deep cuts have their take. Those deep cuts I was just talking about, where like, you know, they're like, I watch New Japan, I watch this, you know, it's like, bro, I got nothing for her right now because I just don't know. And what I've seen. And of course, Chelsea Green is just amazing. So, anyways, like that's all I got on that, really. Her work, her character work is just next level.
It is, and so I guess the rumor is Piper Niven might be done from her next.
Yeah, I saw that, and I didn't want to deep dive on it because it depressed me a little bit because I really do like Piper Niven.
I do too.
I think Piper Niven is one of those wrestlers that, trying to think how I can say this without offending people. If you had me choose between Nia Jax and Piper Niven, I would take Piper Niven 10 times out of 10 because I think she's that more talented and she could be a powerhouse and she was agile, and it's really upsetting to see that she's might be on the shelf permanently. Like she's going to be now doing announcing with Big E. And it's not saying that's happening, by the way, but
Yeah.
you get my point,
No.
right? Like where like you have this incredible talent that's just can't do it anymore, and you're just like,
I know, because she could have done great stuff with Raquel Rodriguez one-on-one if they got her out of the. I mean, she was good in the Hervis, but I would, and I've seen Niven stuff, like her indie stuff. I have watched some of it. And it's when they let Piper Niven go,
yes,
she's like phenomenal.
you see it at times in matches where like when the Secret Hervis was just being cannon fodder, and like, but you would see the talent in Piper Niven, and like she really knows her crap, and it sucks that she's on the cell.
Well, hopefully she gets good doctors and we get better news. But real quick, and I don't want to hop on this because everybody's talking about the William Regal post, which I kind of agree. Like we get addicted to the big spots, but there's an injury risk factor. So I think maybe with this new batch of people coming in, hopefully they take better care of them and not do so many crazy things. I mean, they haven't done as they've toned it down a little bit, but still, like, thank God, like Jeff Hardy's not doing swantons off of ladders in WWE anymore. I think didn't he do it in TNA though, or was it?
I don't know, man. Like,
It's just
there's a time and a place for that, but now that I'm crusty and I'm old, I wince every time somebody does some of these crazy spots, and I'm just like, like during Survivor Series where Breaker got kind of dropped on his neck. I was like, oh,
yeah,
please be okay. Like
Yep.
I was like a cringy little girl, like just like but
I just did army stuff, and I ended up with a fused neck, and I got had to have space was put in my back, and like here's these guys, flippity flopping and diving through tables, and I'm like, yeah,
I give them
wait
all
till
the
you're
credit in the
55.
world. But like see it where I'll give you a good example. AJ Styles has done that move where he jumps on the top rope, the phenomenal forearm and stuff, and like he botched it like a couple of weeks ago. You're this effing close, and like, I don't want to take the flippity floppy stuff out. It is exciting and stuff
is.
like that. So I don't have a problem with that because I don't want to watch everybody ground wrestle.
No, me
There's
either.
a time and a place for that. I like the mix. There's a good mix right now. Penta's out there with like doing great stuff. Ray Phoenix is out there doing great stuff. Right. The timeless Rey Mysterio is out there doing stuff. So like there's stuff out there, but this goes back to there's something for everybody, man. Like if you like that lucha style, like have at it. If you like, and people are gonna get hurt, and it's unfortunate, and it sucks.
Like the ring apron spots, I know that hurts. They could back off on that stuff,
They've been doing it a lot lately.
I know it's been excessive. Like and I'm sure getting
And
power
not
bombed
like
on the padded floor outside the ring probably doesn't feel good, but it probably feels better than getting power bombed on a ring apron. Like, and I just see the way
but
someone's going to get a back broke. I mean, they got to be careful.
yeah, I know. Well, I don't know if it's I don't know
You
if this
boys
is a
be
good lead-in.
careful out there. You boys and girls play safe.
And after that, Matt will tell you to get off the lawn. So I don't know if this is a good segue since we're talking about this. So Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre come face to face, and Drew announces the stipulation that it'll be a 3 stages of hell match. Matt, why don't you give the people some insight on what a 3 stages of hell match is?
It's basically a 2 out of 3 falls match, with each match having its own stipulations. Like, I guess, like, it could be like the first match could be a regular match, and the second match could then be, no DQ, a false count anywhere, and then the third fall, if needed, is a cage match or whatever. So I think the way they ought to do this one is maybe you can have your first fall be a standard match. I would have the number 2 fall be a steel cage match, and I would have the third fall be a last man standing.
So,
but I think regardless how you do the first 2, the last match should be the last man standing. I think that's the best way to do it, because then it makes sense. It's the third fall. People are already hurt and tired, so you just beat him into submission. Don't worry about the pin. There's no holds barred in the last standing match, so just do whatever you can to just put him out.
I would. So
What
this
would you
gets
do?
into. So Matt and I talked about this like pretty extensively leading into the show. It's the new year. We're getting ready to go into the new year. WrestleMania season technically already started because, like, one of the wrestling shows I was watching, they actually said, technically it starts at Survivor Series. Anyways, so we decided we were going to do, as we go along here, New Year's resolutions for WWE. What we think their resolution should be. And my first resolution is this: 2026 should start off as the year of the heel. You have Braun Breaker going up against CM Punk for your world title. I think Braun Breaker should go over. We'll get into it when we talk about Raw, because that got reinforced for me big time this weekend or yesterday. And then I also think Drew should go over, because you're walking a really effing fine line with Drew. Drew is, for the last couple of years now, has been always the bridesmaid, never,
Yeah, always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
And never the bride. Like, going all the way back to when he faced Roman at Clash at the Castle. Like, how many times are you just going to be just right there and not go over? And honestly, Drew's bringing out the worst in Cody, which I think is great. And I think that if I was doing it, I would basically say that, yeah, I would have Drew go over. Cody isn't hurt by losing the title, because what you basically do is, here's what you do. Roman goes over in the Rumble. Cody starts, if your true ultimate intention is Cody Roman 3, which I think is shit, but whatever. Because there's nothing there. There's no substance there, especially if the title's on the line. I don't really care. Like, okay, who benefits out of that match when you stop and think about it? Does Roman? Oh, goody, Roman's got the title again. Is it going to be around? Is it going to be around, or is this going to be another situation where we just don't see the title, or he graced us with his presence after 3 weeks or whatever? Neither here nor there. Or Cody, which is the same shit we've been getting anyways. So, like, change it up. Have Drew go over. Then what you do is you have Roman go over in the Rumble. Roman says, I want my title back, meaning the belt that Cody had that Drew now holds. And then leading all the way up to WrestleMania, all the way up, because I said this, I've said this before. I want Cody and Punk, like, I want that to be two dudes, like in Star Wars, right? Like when the trash compactor starts coming in and Han Solo and Luke Skywalker are kind of crawling all over each other, trying to, I want that. But I want that with Cody and Punk. I want them trying to climb over each other, because, to
their own
Roman's already secured a spot. Who else is going to be in the main event? And there's only one other chance, which is Elimination Chamber.
But they got to do it to their own detriment, though. It's like they're so focused.
Cody loses out on Elimination Chamber. He starts trying to, he even approaches Roman and goes, "Let's run it back. Let's run it back." And Roman's like, "Why are you even talking to me? You don't have the title. I want my title back." And then right before Mania, at whatever point, the only way Cody gets back in is by defeating Drew to get his title back, so then he can have his match with Roman. There are so many ways that you can do that, but you give Drew the damn title run he deserves. It doesn't have to be long, but let that guy hold the belt in front of the crowd and not be a laughingstock. That's the guy that effing carried your ass through the freaking COVID era.
Yep.
And he deserved it then, and he deserves it now. Like, give him some time in front of an effing crowd. I don't care if they boo him the whole time, but his heel work has been top notch. Top freaking notch. Even on social media, he's been top notch doing heel work. That dude is doing all greatness. And what's even better is like this whole angle of, you're not providing me a safe workspace. You're always going to back your corporate boy. Bro, you could go so many ways with that, man. It's like not so easy when the machine isn't backing you up, blah, blah, blah. You could do so much with it. And you can make Cody compelling.
I would even
You can make Cody compelling.
I think it would
again.
I think it would be kind of cool if Cody and Punk just fight each other at WrestleMania, and you have other guys go after the world titles. There's other stories you can do.
I think that like
Roman can go
I
after Drew McIntyre. Somebody can go after Braun Breaker, whether it be
but
Gunther
if
or
your ultimate
whoever. But if
but if the rumors are true and the ultimate answer is what WWE wants, this isn't what Sean wants, is
I don't
if
want
you're
Roman Cody 3, like that's kind of done.
nobody does.
Unless there's no
Because
title,
why does it matter?
unless there's no title involved.
Yeah, that's kind of my
But
point,
even then,
right?
I'm not like stoked about it because like
No. The only reason Cody Roman 2 was compelling was you were wondering if Cody was going to finish his story. That's the only reason it effing mattered. And Cody Roman 1 was the same thing. Like, ooh, is he going to finish his story? And nope, then he had to go through hard times. That all made sense. What why do I care?
if you're gonna do it,
The rumors mania. The rumors mania.
yeah,
Neither here
no,
nor there. Like when we're a writing show, we talk about the writing all the time. So
I
like
like I like the idea of Punk and Cody, like just getting in each other's way that they have a feud with themselves.
no, I just want them to just crawl. I just want them getting in each other's way, right? Like that sets up a future where you can do Cody Punk, where all the animosity that boils over from the road to WrestleMania, you can go later on down the road and do that and get a little bit more mileage out of it. Because like right now, I'll wait until Raw. Like I'm not feeling Punk at all, but like I don't have the nostalgia meter for Punk. But bottom line is, my WWE New Year's resolution for WWE is make it the year of the heel, man. Make the road to WrestleMania all about the heels. It'll make your faces so much more compelling.
Yeah, and I agree with that, and I'll piggyback that. My first wish for WWE for 2026 would be to stop being so predictable. Surprise us, like
Yeah.
do stuff that we wouldn't think that WWE would normally do.
I well, I think
I'm
they're
not
dipping
saying
their
all.
toes in.
I'm just saying, throw us a little surprise here and there.
Well, let's get into Raw because there's a couple of first off, I would argue that like Dragunov beating Sammy was a surprise, and Carmelo Hayes beating Dragunov is not as much of a surprise, but was an interesting change. And the fact that titles are changing hands on a regular TV show and not just PLEs is always a good thing. So, all right, let's get into it. First off, for the record, I'm a huge Vision fan. All of them. Maybe not so much Logan Paul. Neither here nor there. Definitely Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed, though. So, Vision kicks off Raw, and we finally get CM Punk and Braun Breaker trading barbs, and I think Breaker won the promo battle. That's just for me. You won it for me, but I'm biased.
Punk had some good lines in his comeback, but overall it was pretty standard vanilla stuff. No, it just comes across so believable, especially when he had to talk about how everybody thinks he kind of because who his dad and his uncle were, that he was just given this. He said he kind of made it almost came across kind of sympathy faces. Man, like you don't want to feel bad for your heels, but like man, he said that he had to do everything better because of the expectations. He had to work harder. So you know,
His
some
line about being teammates with Lamar Jackson was a nice touch.
yeah, I
I
thought
was
that
like,
was funny.
that was
Yeah,
a good line.
that was.
Well, it's true,
Yeah,
you
no,
know.
I like that. He came across. He's a very articulate guy when he's like, he'll go from barking and twitching to like saying some pretty articulate stuff. So I like it because it shows there's a complexity to him. So like, are we seeing everything about Braun, or is it just Braun let us see what he wants us to see? So I kind of like that promo. Do we want to talk about the look that we were talking about at pre-show?
Yeah, let me touch on Braun Breaker a little
Touch
bit
on
more
Braun.
though, because like
Touch away.
ooh, ouch. So there's your ET reference for the day. Go back and watch it. No, so I actually had a conversation about ET the other day, and I can't remember what it was revolving around. It had something to do with him saying phone home. And I'm like, well, what the hell else do you want him to say? You know. But anyways, so
You want fries with that?
we're getting a lot of Braun Breaker talking. Like, we're getting a lot of promo work out of him in the last few weeks, and they've all been good. And you brought up somebody was crying about, like, people are crying that his mic hand was shaking. I was like, bro, his whole character is like the super intense, like, twitchy dude. That's who he is, right? Like, you see him every now and again. Like, he'll spear somebody and do that, you know what I mean? Like, for no reason. It's just who the character is. Like, I don't give a shit that he could shake that mic. I don't give a crap. Do your thing, bro. Because, like, he just comes off so good. And, like, he's got me to the point now. This is the main one I wanted to touch on. Where I want to start punching people in the face for them calling him kid. I'm like, he's a grown-ass man. And you're just like, and Punk does it all the time. He's like, don't call me kid. And Punk keeps on doing it. And it's like, I just want Braun to snap Punk in half. Like, just break him in half. And then I'm going to throw another little piece of shade out at Mr. Punk. Because this kind of annoyed me too. I earned this. Like, he dropped the I earned this line and this strap is heavy, blah, blah, blah line. I got something to say about both of those lines. The strap is heavy. What the F have you done with it? You're not the face of the company. All I see you do is come out there, steal other people's crap, integrate it into your promo, and whatever. So this whole, it's a burden, it's heavy, blah, blah, blah. Why? You haven't done squat with it. You ain't out there defending it every week. You ain't doing crap. You're just carrying it around. And then, 2, I earned it. No, you got it by default because freaking Seth Rollins got hurt. Like, okay, you did one match to win it. You didn't beat the guy that had it. You beat, some other dude that was, like, eligible for it. You know what I mean? Like, don't. That shit set me wrong because, like, if you're going to plant your flag in the ground, at least have something stable to plant your flag into the ground for. And, like, it wasn't. It's just like, bro, you kind of half-ass got your title. You didn't do anything crazy for it. You just half-ass got it. You know what I mean? And then,
isn't it kind of funny that the heels speak more real-life truth than the baby faces do? Think about it. Drew McIntyre. No, at times, Drew has kind of a distorted view about things, but the majority of what he talks about...
There's truth in what he says.
Exactly. So there's truth in that. When Braun speaks this, it's pretty truthful. Like, when he says, go in the back and find anybody like me with my work ethic, I'll die for this title. Like he's a heel. Like, that's a babyface thing, like, so you can get behind him. And, like, you started hearing in that promo when he was giving the line, like, the booze kind of went away and you kind of heard the pitter-patter of some applause in the background because they were like, yeah, like, there isn't anybody like him. So,
I am firm in my belief that you and I have talked about this off pod, where, like, the audience, and Raw was really bad this week.
Terrible.
The audience, for the most part, is becoming just barking seals, right? Like, somebody waved the fish in the air and they're like, CM Punk, CM Punk. And, like, it's just like,
OTC, say.
We want to get under their skin. Somebody said OTC. Oh, another fish, OTC. And it's just like,
you tapped out. We can keep going. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. There's no more substance to it, right? Like, and it's not even interactive anymore. That was the thing. Like, I am not a huge fan of the what thing. I have never been a huge fan of the what thing. It always kind of annoyed me, but Austin played it the best. I had beer. What? I had tequila. What? It felt interactive and people weren't just doing it out of obligation, right? Like, but it feels like, well, those guys are up against Punk, so CM Punk. And it's just like, can we get original, please? And I'm
I
not
think
sure.
I think they were annoying the shit out of Paul Heyman because Paul Heyman was starting to go on a little bit of a cooker of a promo, and
Yeah,
then they start with the chants, and he's
but even that though, like when he freaking reset them after they started their first initial chants, he does the ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And guess what? Every one of the barking seals did.
yep.
Paul Heyman. You either hate him or you don't. You know what I mean?
Just
Like,
watch it. Sorry, you just make a hilarious barking seal.
thank you. Thank you. It is the holidays, so you
And
know.
my bucket of fish is now empty.
my fish bucket runneth dry.
Dry.
Yeah, so well, on the flip side, Matt, our fashion critic, actually picked up on something interesting last week and it got reaffirmed this week. Why don't you tell the folks about that?
So, Joe and I was talking about this last week. I made note that Austin Theory was in gray when he was in his audition role to join the Vision, and we talked a little bit of how it was Sean's idea, and some people are commenting on our shorts about it, picking up like that. He's a spy, but he first has to join the club and get embedded in the club. Like, if you want to gather information, yeah. Well, he was in gray. Not only was Austin Theory in black, they were all the only color was in Bronson Reed, the red. But it's a dig at Roman Reigns, so that's fine. Like Austin Theory's in all black now, so they look unified. So I like the way they're starting the story. The look has a lot to do with it. And some people are like, oh, what's the big deal with what they wear? We'll talk about it more with Nikki Bella here in a minute.
Ooh,
but
child.
I mean, take the rock band Kiss, right? Their music was good. Believe me, it wasn't Led Zeppelin or like Deep Purple or Sabbath, but it was passable rock and roll. But what made Kiss larger than life? It was their gimmick.
Presentation.
Right. It was a show. So when I watch wrestling and I'm like, no fashionista, you can ask my wife. Sometimes we go out and she's like, oh, you got to wear that with that. Okay, I'll find something else or help me out here. So. But I'm saying, the overall
own Buffalo stuff, man. It's either Bills or Sabres. It makes it so easy to choose.
Or Sean's naked on the podcast. So yeah,
exactly. Can't run that risk.
So what I'm saying is, part of it, especially in nowadays where everything is so visual with social media and everything being everywhere, those little subtleties mean a lot. So when you see Austin Theory in all black, now he's with the group, so now he's in. And now we can get going on the storyline that we hope that they pull the trigger on, where down the line, Austin Theory's going to find out that he's doing Seth Rollins' dirty work. And we've already talked last week how Seth, basically the architect, is how he's going to dismantle or take down the Vision. So we hope they go that way. But yeah, so when you watch it, watch for these visual cues, like what people are wearing. Like, I don't want to jump ahead, but like Nikki Bella started going with the darker outfit. We're like, okay, that's cool.
Well, let's get into it, man, because that was the next thing that happened.
But no music.
Let's get to it.
Well, do you have anything else to say about the Vision Punk thing, or do you think we?
Nah. Let's just the whole Vision segment. I'm gonna talk a little more about them when we get to Austin Theory's match, because I have another take on there as well.
Yeah. Is that the one you texted me about last night? And I told you to save. Yep. Good point. You'll like this. You like this one, folks.
So we get Stephanie Fakir, Nikki Bella, and Raquel Rodriguez in a triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. So, a couple of things, and then I'll let you run with the ball, Mr. Fashionista.
It won't be long.
At least Fakir got an initial pop a little bit. I don't know how you kind of endear her a little bit more to the audience, but she's still stuck in the mud, but she's kind of coming out of it right now. People are starting to understand who she is. Credit to Raquel Rodriguez, man, and credit to Kevin Nash too, because there are times that her presence now does remind me of Kevin Nash's Diesel. Yeah. Right? I really get that vibe off of her, which is really impressive. So good on her, man. I love it. And ever since they had their little talk, she's been wrestling big, and it's impressive, and she does a great job, and she's only gotten better. So
I was texting you last night. I'm like, minus the Nikki Bella stuff, the Steph and Raquel was like
They
really.
got good work
She looked
together.
awesome. I mean, Raquel looked awesome last night. And even during that match, I'm wondering, like, is Raquel gonna go over? And then that can set up more friction between her and Liv, and it would have made sense if she went over because
I had
I,
that thought cross my mind.
I like Stephanie Vicure a lot, but I wonder if they gave her the world title too soon. I wonder.
I think that there was supposed to be a program with Naomi to kind of build her up. I think there was supposed to be a trilogy there, and they just were forced to pull the trigger with Naomi. So nothing bad about it. It is what it is, but
Yeah.
I think they got forced into that because I think her and Raquel can do some great things. But bro, your girl, man.
Talk about
first
taking
off-
five steps backwards with what progress they was starting to make.
Last week she came out in black with a little red highlight, and what she wore last week, I was like, oh, thank God they're finally dressing her like a heel. Like I say it all the time. I don't need everything in crayon, right? Like I really don't. But like, I also don't want the Billy Madison, like I colored the duck blue because I like that it's blue. I always wanted to see a blue duck. And with her, it's like, I know she's a heel, but I also don't want her coming across as like Princess Peach from the freaking video games, man. I want her to have edge. I want more, and instead we get whatever. First off, the music hasn't changed, which makes me want to gouge my eardrums out.
And then she went to what?
I think I'm going to start.
Silver and teal was her colors of her outfit. I knew silver.
Yeah.
Like really weird choice for a
Yeah, it was like silver and green.
If it was silver and black, that would have been okay. But she had no black like in her outfit, which that was working for her. You know what I mean?
Okay. No, I had to cover my mouth because I almost said something insulting, and it was a dig at the Raiders and Nikki Bella all at the same time.
Okay. So, but what I'm saying is, like, we talk about how important it was that, like, now Austin Theory's wearing in black, and black is known as a heel color for the most part. So when she was starting to go darker with her outfit, to just reverse it, to go to something that's very Florida, I mean, they were in Orlando, maybe that's why she wore the bright colors, but like, you didn't look like a heel. The music you still came out with your shitty music. And then you really didn't act like a heel. The most heelish thing you did all the time was like pulling people off the rope or constantly taking a powder to the outside so you could actually watch some good wrestling between Stephanie and Raquel. Like, Nikki was at her best when she was on the floor while just staying out of the ring last. She was awful while she was in it.
I actually saw people in the IWC losing their shit saying that she's poorly booked. And I'm like, what the F are you talking about? Anyways, moving on. So Rhea Ripley and Io Sky got into a brawl with the Kabuki Warriors, and it meant nothing to me. It was a thing, and I'm just like, whatevs.
I think there were crickets chirping while the Kabuki Warriors were. That promo was.
That was rough. But
and then what? Did Asuka get mad at Kairi Sane at some point? Like, I couldn't follow it. Like, all of a sudden, Asuka
just
started
did her thing, and
yeah, it was.
I don't know, man. It just was cringe and off and whatnot. So earlier in the night, R-Truth talked shit to Gunther. That led to a match. Gunther defeats R-Truth by submission, and his white hot heat is now gone. And
I will agree.
I think we're gonna have a Gunther problem. Sorry, not sorry. And this is what I was worried about. Because right now, all we have of substance is John Cena tapped out like a little bitch and him laughing at everybody booing him. And, like, I don't care.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to be patient, but I just don't care.
I think they did drop the ball last night with how they handled Gunther. They could have had. First of all, I understand why they did Gunther and R-Truth, because that's Cena's.
Yeah, he beat Ron Cena
brother
and
from another
John
mother,
Cena
whatever,
and made them both deaf.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, if you're trying to get heat on him, he really didn't. Nothing he did. Like, after the match was over, he got up. He didn't attack him again. Like, the most heat he got was when he did the "you can't see me" to R-Truth. That was the loudest reaction he got, and it wasn't that much. So
No, he should have, honestly, he should have spent that whole match trying to humiliate R-Truth.
yeah,
And, like, I don't know, man. He just,
no,
I know it's your boy. He's just
no,
so freaking vanilla right now, man. And it's just,
no. I
everything
wrote that
feels
he's not.
manufactured.
I said he's not the heat magnet. So I don't know. I wonder if a brand change might be not be a bad idea for Gunther. Put him over to SmackDown because I know you don't watch NXT.
I'll take
stuff.
him and Cody.
No, man.
I'll take him and Cody.
No, while Cody's
Honestly,
doing his.
I will take him and Cody. I think that could be some great crap.
I want to see
Like,
Gunther and Dragunov
actually
too.
get a worthwhile, but I think you can get worthwhile dialogue out of that.
Sure.
They got to fix Gunther's promos and character. That's the effing problem, right? Like, because he doesn't emote anything that you can attach to. I've been saying it for weeks, and it really bothers me. Like, you did all this great stuff in the ring, and that's great. And, guys like you are like, I love the throwback shit. And it's like, but the character sucks. And, like, I don't care.
So, like I said, I'm a Gunther guy, but I have to agree. Like, I didn't get excited about last night with him and R-Truth.
No. I told you exactly what was going to happen before it happened.
Yeah, and I even told you
it not being a squash.
Yeah, well, it went about 5 minutes maybe. I mean, at least R-Truth got some offense in, but like he choked him out, and then he walked away like that while he kicked him out of the ring. But like, if you want to get heat on him, maybe he should have put R-Truth back in the choke and tapped him out, and R-Truth rides the stretcher back or something. But you didn't really like.
Yeah, R-Truth is beloved, and like there was nothing that Gunther did to take away that love for R-Truth. Like, you could have easily, especially with R-Truth, found a way to make people hate you because we all love R-Truth. And like, we didn't get that. It was just a match, and it was just something there so he could choke out another dude. And it's just,
what he should have done is he should have powerbombed him about a half a dozen times and suplexed him about another 10 times. And then choke him out where R-Truth doesn't give up. Maybe he gets to the rope or whatever. And I think,
well, not even that. What they should have done was like,
it could have either been a tap or a ref stoppage. And then Gunther
well, they should have done the 3-arm drop, right? Yep. So he drops it once, he drops it a second time, and then Gunther releases.
Well, that's even better.
And then he cinches it back in, and now he's going to keep on doing it. And then you do that a couple of times. That's way better than what the hell happened. Yeah. Like, one of those deals where he's kind of, you could have made Gunther the guy that plays with his food, right? Like, and you didn't even do that. Like, that dude's going to stall out so bad, Matt. It's not even funny.
I hope not.
I'm sorry. Like,
I really hope they don't.
His in-ring work is great, but like, again, like, what do you latch onto with him?
Well,
it's a little bit of a Dragunov problem too. Like, there's no personality there that makes you cling to him. You know what I mean? Like, Undertaker for the longest time was a guy without a lot of words. You know what I mean? He was very brief and would talk very slow. But when he said stuff, it was impactful. And like,
yeah, he didn't waste any of his words. Every word mattered.
And like Gunther, I just don't even get that. I just, there's nothing. It's just, John Cena is a bitch. Or tapped out like a bitch.
Yeah.
And it's just like, okay. And if you want to get real, Austin Theory has also beaten John Cena. So I don't know what to tell you, for reals, so speaking of Austin Theory, so Austin Theory and Rey Mysterio had a match. It ends in disqualification. And so when I was talking to Matt and I were texting back and forth last night.
The match was actually really good. It
was good.
Man, like Theory though, I know where you're going to go, so I just want to get it real quick. I thought that Rey was carrying too much of the match. Like Theory was in trouble too much. I felt like if you're trying to bring him in, but then again, he's the new guy, so maybe, and he just came back, so maybe this was intentional. I don't know, but
so
I thought the match was fun until it ended. So, and I'm gonna let you carry on the rest of the.
Yeah. So there's a couple of key takeaways from this. So we had so earlier in the night, Paul Heyman comes out and goes, yes, Austin Theory is part of this mix. Makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense, boys and girls. Because guess what? You're going to need a tag team, you're going to need a mid-carder, and you're going to need a world champ. And guess what? Honestly, you might need 2 world champs, and the second world champ contender is definitely Bronson Reed. So, you need a little bit of a mix of that. And then you got your 2 lower cardish guys, right? And Austin Theory and Logan Paul. So when they're in the back and they're talking in the locker room, Logan Paul comes across and he's just like, yeah, man, blah, 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 blah. Like, he's no longer the FNG because now Austin Theory is the FNG. And like, so he's all playing it up now. Like, I know the ropes, man. You've been here for like 2 extra weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell to tell you, but he's playing it up like that, right? So like later on, Austin Theory is having this match and like Logan Paul comes out there for some reason, which Austin Theory never asked for.
No, Paul Heyman told him he was. Paul Heyman in that backstage statement says you go out with him. So yeah, like I missed Oscar yelling at Kyrie, but yeah, Paul told, like, because he says, oh, now take care of the new kid, basically go out with him.
Yeah,
I'll stay back here, which I thought was cool.
FNG, take care of the FNG, like
yeah.
But so he's out there, and then like he just blatantly interferes and causes the DQ
right in front of the ref too. Like,
but what's even worse out of all that is that like Theory wasn't. At that point in the match, I did not feel like Theory was big time in trouble. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't like, how at certain points in matches you're just like, ooh, it's about to go down. Like, I didn't feel that at that point, and he interferes and costs Theory the match via DQ, and it's just like, and I forget how I equated it to you last night, but like, Logan Paul is that guy that is in the group that thinks he knows everything that's going on, but he's really the dumbass of the group. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, yo, I've been here for like 3 extra weeks than you, so I know how everything goes down here, and he's just an effing moron.
I got you right here. I'll actually quote what he said, because I said, do you think this made Theory and Paul look weak? And you said, I think it makes Paul look dumb, honestly. I think he's going to be the guy that thinks he's king shit but keeps effing up.
There it is.
End quote.
Yeah. And that's really what I feel like. I feel like he's going to be that guy that's just like, I got this on lock, yo. And then like, he just comes out and screws something up. Like not egregiously, like he's still well-intentioned. He's just that guy. And we've all known that guy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I was going to say, like in the army, you get a new soldier and there'd be a soldier that came 2 weeks after. So he's now the new guy. And the other guy been there like 2 or 3 weeks. And he thinks he knows, everything about the company and the unit, and however, oh yeah, this like he's a battle-worn vet and he's been there like 3 weeks or so longer. So yeah, you'd be just like, man, shut up, dude. Like, spent more time in a porta potty in Kuwait than you have in the army, like.
And this was all really set up. This was all really set up to show that Penta's back. So that's really what this was all about. Like, this all went down the way it did. It was more so to be like, oh look, Penta's back.
I wish they would have had a segment though, in where Theory and Paul went back to the Vision. I would like to see Paul like Logan. What the hell was that? Like, what were you thinking? Like, I would have liked to seen a follow-up. Maybe you'll get it. Maybe he likes to do these little digital shorts throughout the week, so maybe we'll see something.
I think though, you have to look at how the Vision has progressed, especially under Paul Heyman, which is you had a couple of instances prior to Logan Paul and Austin Theory joining the Vision where, like, we had instances where the lunatics ran the asylum for like a week or two, right?
Yep.
Like Braun Breaker would just go out and start beating the crap out of people, blah, blah.
Yeah,
And
Paul
then,
was
like,
off TV for a couple of weeks, and yeah.
And then like a couple of weeks later, you got Paul Heyman back and he's like, we should just go snap his ass in half. He's like, whoa, hold on. I got things lined up for us right now. We don't want to piss off management. You know what I mean? He comes in as the voice of reason, and it makes me really think that we're going to get that again with the other two now.
Yeah.
Right? Right now, they're just going to do stupid crap. Logan Paul's going to do stupid crap. I think Austin Theory's just, he's good. I think his character is going to be a little bit of the, you go there, do that. Okay. Henchman kind of shit, right? I think he's going to be the henchman. And then I think that Logan Paul's going to be the guy that where Paul Heyman's like, hey, you're a social media megastar, but how about you hear me out on this? And like we see Paul Heyman kind of reeling his dude in. And then by the time it comes time to really throw down like WrestleMania, I think he has all four of them just lined up perfectly for this. And I think that lends itself into the main event a little bit too. And I'll get into that. But after that, we get Maxine Dupree and female wrestler of the year, Becky Lynch. I'm saying it.
Yep.
I think you're saying it.
I'm saying it.
This podcast is saying it. It's Becky Lynch because, man, her work with Maxine's been phenomenal. Her work with Lyra Valkyria was phenomenal. Whew, girl is killing it. And even during her promo, I was like, God, she's on another planet right now. She is so effing good. So effing good.
Oh, yeah.
And like the whole thing where she was like trying to compliment Maxine, and she was like throwing up in her mouth, trying to just say the words. So good. So good.
You could tell that because she's doing this movie. She's doing a movie, right? She's doing. She's in the new Star Trek series on Paramount called Starfleet Academy. I think those acting coaches are really helping her in the shows because she put on a great performance. And then I'll talk about Maxine Dupree again. Another good vocal performance. She's likable. I mean, it was cheesy when she came out and asked everybody's Christmases, but then, like, it worked for her. Like Rhea Ripley coming out and asking people how their Christmas was doesn't go over. But like Maxine's just like she's just like a likable, like everybody can get along with type of person. Like
you can tell that she's starting to feel herself a little bit.
Yes.
Not just character wise. So like the character in and of the character itself is supposed to be starting to feel her shit because like I think what's really going to happen with her is she's going to get a little bit more inflated and she's going to get that confidence up and we're going to hit this tipping point where she's going to get her ass beat and probably not by Becky Lynch. It'll probably be Natty, but I think they're going to go with the made a monster with her character. And eventually you got to kind of put your monster down or knock it down a peg or whatever you want. So, yeah. But man, Becky Lynch is so effing good. That was a really good segment, and they work well together. They do, and I got to give Becky credit, man. She is working her butt off to put people over right now. And if I ever see somebody say Becky Hogan, I just want to backslap them. I was like, bro, she's doing the yeoman's work, man. Like, she. Everybody that she touched, if it's a legend that's coming back, if it's a freaking new person that you're trying to build up, man, just put her with Becky Lynch. She'll just make it gold.
Yep.
What I mean? And what's even better is
while she raids her husband.
It's so good.
Well, she constantly raiding her husband's wardrobe. Because
they've been doing that forever.
Yeah, no, she's great.
When she curb stomps somebody with the Mickey Mouse shoes, I'm gonna love it.
Yeah, as long as they make like a squeaky sound when it happens.
No, there was one episode of Raw where like Seth had those like big ridiculous, they look like Mickey Mouse shoes, and he ended up stomping somebody. It was great. All right, let's get into the match of the night. We've been chugging along here. We've talked a lot of great stuff. We had another title change to end out the year, man, on the last show of the year. The Usos defeated AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. And I don't know where we're going with this. Well, I have a hint, but I have an inkling. But what'd you think?
I was kind of surprised. Like, I thought this would go to a inconclusive decision. I was kind of surprised they pulled it off of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee. I think at some point they'll pull him off. I thought at some point, but I thought it was a little early. But I guess end of the year show, and they're
I
trying
don't
to
think it's
do
early
something.
because I think you're going to go a different route leading into WrestleMania with AJ, right? And that frees up Dragon Lee also to go off and do other things too. So I think it's time to split it off. And I think the Usos having it opens a lot of good doors. And I think with the Vision being the Vision, there's obviously history with Jay. Jimmy always kind of has his back. I don't know what the backstage stuff was with Mopey J or whatever the hell we're calling it. Like, oh, he's got a title now, so he's cool. Whatever. I don't care. I mean, they are without a doubt one of the greatest tag teams to ever do it. I fully acknowledge that.
Actually, the match was really good. I mean, the last last 5 minutes was awesome. All the close falls and near finishes, my God. Styles with all the Styles clash and then almost had a second one. I mean, only thing was who got pinned? It was Dragon Lee that got pinned, right? I think AJ Lee. I thought AJ Lee. I thought he did. Okay, because I didn't see the tag, and I thought that AJ was still the legal man when Dragon Lee got pinned. But
no, because
I
I
must
think
have missed the tag.
Styles tagged him in when they were setting up all that corner shot stuff.
Okay, I missed the tag.
Yeah, there was a tag.
He missed the tag.
No, but
Must be in the front row.
So,
oh, you're too young for that.
It was a good match, and it's going to be real interesting because next week, SmackDown goes to 3 hours now. So what are we doing with SmackDown? What are we doing with? Well, we're kicking off SmackDown big, but yeah, we just need to see where it goes.
Right. Yeah, and the broadcast team switch next week. So Michael Cole and Corey Graves on Raw.
Hey, Matt. Confessional time. I'm with you on Tessator.
Thank you.
Oh my God, dude. I forget which match it was. It might be time to turn off the hearing aids or turn them off or something so I can't hear as well. I don't know, dude. Like, Tessator was getting on my nerves yesterday and it was just bad. And like, I don't know where we're going with this, but give me Corey Graves, man. Corey Graves is in the zone. I would like to see a different play-by-play person.
I think Corey could do it. I mean, he does it in AAA. If he's going to be the lead announcer, well, Michael Cole's pretty biased announcer. He's very biased towards certain people at times.
Yeah. Well, I think if you were to do it, I think the only way you could pull off Corey is if you brought back
JBL.
McAfee. Well, I'll take JBL. But
I think Corey Graves and JBL would be great because then JBL can kind of take all the
in AAA.
Yeah.
So long as they don't bring Conan with them, I'm fine with it. I like that Conan gives you all the exposition and makes you understand all the stuff in AAA, but like on commentary, I'm just like, whew, this is a little rough. Like moving on, and like JBL does amazing work, and like props to Corey Graves, man. He just owns it, and like that show where he was actually talking about like it was just coming out of AAA, and like Cole's like throwing it over to him, like the different internet conversation, like, whew, that was so good. But yeah, no, it was, but props to him, and like it was an okay week.
The only thing is
the holidays.
Now you got to listen to Tessator for 3 hours on Friday nights.
Yeah, but I don't have work the next day, so I can drink through that whole SmackDown, dude. Just drink it off the show. By the end of the last match, I'll just be like, Tessator is a genius,
best ever,
as he explains that.
Well, I mean, Adam Pearce is drinking on the job last night after that whole bit with Trick Williams. I like the Trick Williams going on both shows too. I don't know a lot about Trick Williams.
I like what they're doing with a lot of the top. I like what they're doing with a lot of the top stars right now. Like
I like this free agent, open bidding type thing. It's just kind of cool. If this supplements the draft for the most part, I kind of like this better.
What draft?
Yeah, the one that we were supposed to have 3 months ago.
I don't even think you do that. Yeah, I don't even think you do that. I just think you say F it and run with the ball. Do what you're doing.
Kind of like the idea where you could have
free agents.
So even like the main guys, like this is how you can get Gunther on SmackDown. Well, his Raw contract is up, so therefore he's now a free agent, so he can go explore being a full
I
time.
really think he needs to go to SmackDown. Not the more I think about it, and after you mentioned it, I was like, "Ooh,
Because
that's right. He needs to
that,
go to SmackDown."
and I'm telling you, if you've never seen it, Gunther when he was Walter in Dragunov and NXT, you want to talk about wincing moments, but great matches. Dude, phenomenal stuff. But I've watched some of Dragunov's NXT stuff just over YouTube, like his older stuff. I don't think he can have a bad match. I think he's physically incapable of having a bad match.
I think that I forget one of our pods or one of the things we were on. You mentioned that like you kind of lean into like the European style wrestler and all that stuff, and I'm not opposed to it. Like I do like me some like honestly, I appreciate Dragonoff in the ring. I actually prefer him over Gunther, to be honest with you. But I also prefer JD McDonough too. And like watching JD McDonough wrestle, and so there is a thing to that style of wrestling. And I think the big thing with that is that you with luchadors you get a little more of the high flying flippity floppity really cool spots, whereas your European wrestlers like your JD McDonough's, your Dragonoffs, those guys, I
Finn
think you get
Balor and
Finn Balor, you get a little bit of the flying cool, you get a flying cool spot, but it's not the core of what they do,
right.
right?
Yeah,
And
it's
I
more
think that they get that one or two exciting moves in when they're doing everything else. So
the UK guys. It seems to be more about impact too, like here in the impact, a lot of chops and kicks and slaps, and so like right now we kind of have a good mix because we have that lucha libre, the UK style, and then your classic American style with guys like LA Knight and CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and Roman. So there's a good mix. So I think you should put
Team Ensure.
let let
Yeah, I
let,
know. We
let
got Team Ensure.
team ensure. So what I would do is with Gunther, let him roll a couple more weeks on Raw, and close out like his deals with the guys that from Cena's, Rey Mysterio and AJ Styles, whatever. Or you can bring that back later. But then I'd get him over to SmackDown, and just that might just be a freshen up, just a different bunch of opponents.
Well, I think if you're going to have him in a world title picture, it's much more compelling to see him chasing around Cody for a little bit
Well, that too,
than just
and he lost to Cody at Clash of Champions in Saudi, so
yeah,
he's got
yeah.
some
Just let him
unfinished
float
business.
around.
Yeah.
He needs a little bit of a reset. So,
So
but you know what?
do you have any other
It's going to
wishes?
be a new year.
I was going to say, do we have any other wishes that we would like to see next year?
I wish everybody a happy 2026. That's all I care about. And I was just about to say, we're going into a new year. It's an Olympic year, and we're all going to get to you know, start off fresh, and it's going to be fun. NASCAR is coming back in February. Like we can start that whole rigmarole again. But no, I just think that just nah. I no more wishes for them. Like let's see where WWE takes it. We kind of gave our big resolutions because we all know we're going to fail on the 1st of January anyways, right? Like, I'm going on a diet. Yeah, that lasted 2 minutes. Like, I'm going to go to the gym. Yeah, I paid the gym a lot of money. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
none of that's going to go down. So, we don't say New Year's resolutions because we think they're going to follow through on it, but it's a nice thought. But, anyways, Matt, tell the folks where to find us.
You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on TikTok, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Again, we really appreciate your likes and comments. So please like, comment, and subscribe. We're doing really good on picking up people on YouTube and TikTok. So please hit the subscribe notification button so you can get notified of our videos, and also it'll help us get broadcast to other people as well, as we want to reach as many people as we can with our great wrestling expertise, knowledge, random movie, whatever. We talk about all sorts of random stuff. So
Yep. The
But
movie
the
of the
gist of
week.
it is, hey,
What were
please like
the
and
movies of
subscribe.
this
And we
week?
love to
Even
comment
before we
back. I
started,
really enjoy
were
reading the comments. and
let's see.
if I don't get back right
Kingpin.
away, I do try to get back.
We talked about Big Lebowski, and then Matt's feed cut out. His internet crapped out at the end of the show, and I mentioned my affinity for the Fall Guy movie, which I actually like. But that's neither here nor there. But those are some movie recommendations for y'all. So before Matt
Internet
totally
just
cuts
took a
out
shit.
and we're like totally hosed, I'm gonna wish you all a wonderful new year. Please like, subscribe, comment. Obviously, you heard today, we listen, we read, and we talk about your comments. We want to hear what y'all think. Make sure that you guys are like interacting with us. Let us know how you feel, and we'll talk to y'all next week. All right. Happy New Year, everybody.